Ah, okay. Hello and welcome to another scene in Darkness in Dublin. I was randomly thrust into this position. I did not ask for it. Tonight's scene is a mage social, quote unquote. It will take place in Agrabah Nights, which is it used to be an Aetheryte hangout, and then a wealthy Middle Eastern person came in, bought the whole place for a massive ton of money. That might be a literal statement. And then promptly turned it into what it is today. Anyone who arrives, there will be if I recall correctly, a somewhat strange looking and very, very burly man standing out front, basically checking people's names off a list, essentially he's the checker. But if people get inside past that point, there is a stairway that leads to a pavilion. It looks like the inside of a tent, as if you were in some massive pavilion tent in the desert. And in fact, this is supported by the fact that the walls, which appear to be tent flaps, do billow in wind, and there's also occasionally drifts of sand coming in through the bottom, though it never seems to overtake the pavilion. There is usually a large center table, unless it's been teleported or destroyed recently, with many padded cushions all around the room, a couple smaller tables, and that's what I remember about the description. Who wants to go first? And yes, there is digital dust all over the place, unless they cleaned it. Anyways.
Dr. L will be the first to arrive.
There you go.
Why? Because I say so.
Right.
She will be pretty much as shown in my little descriptor. Although the vest tonight will be a straight-up black vest rather than the color it is in the picture. She'll be carrying with her a note bag, and once allowed inside, she will head straight towards the normal table and sit down.
So Hyun will show up. For those who can't remember what he looks like. He looks like a shaved head Korean man, fairly well built, dressed in a pair of jeans and a very thick hoodie. And he will walk in and pick a random table and sit down.
Stefanos will arrive, and he's not wearing a blacksmith's apron, thankfully. And yes, for the record, he would have told Yuki where he was going because she's watching. And he'll just, get in past the bouncer, make his way into the tent, and find himself a seat.
The guy who probably none of you know kind of walks in. He's got a very nice, very, very nice suit. It's couture. It's amazing. Got a look of like he's been here before, but things might have changed a little bit. He has a bottle of something and with him, because there's no alcohol here, right?
I believe they have alcohol here, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, he brought his own. And he sits down at the bar. Well, there's no bar. There's a tent. So he goes and he sits down. He finds a really big, comfy chair, and he just relaxes into the chair. And he doesn't really say anything. He does wave at everybody. Doesn't say anything to him, but he waves. And then he has a seat.
Dr. L pulls a actual hardbound book out of her note bag, looks up, sees the wave, waves back, and opens the book.
Wave.exe has been noticed. Reply wave is sent.
Yun's just going to get up and go over to the guy that waved. So,
Nothing.
mind if I sit here?
Don't mind at all. Not even a bit.
Hyun will go ahead and sit down. I'm Hyun.
That's nice for you, isn't it?
Sorry, I couldn't understand that last one.
That's nice for you, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
That's what they call you then.
Yeah, usually.
All right.
What do they call you?
The black dog.
Is that what you answer to?
I've been known to, yeah.
All right. So
So,
you from here or?
no. I'm from London.
Gotcha.
You all notice that he's being very careful about what he says.
So what brings you to Ireland?
My cousin died. I had to come collect this Sphinx. Then a whole lot of other bullocks happened, and I had to take care of that too.
Sorry for your loss. That's what people say, right?
He's a Kenroy. That's what they do. They die. Usually something stupid. Listen to the Kilkennys to clean up the mess it is. So here I am, stuck in Ireland. Because there has to be a druid, doesn't it?
There has to be a what?
A druid.
Does there? Does there have to be one?
As far as I can tell you.
Huh. Fair enough.
There was a lot of folks here used to hang out about. Ever heard of a woman, bird named Samira?
It doesn't sound familiar now.
So let's cut it to the chase then, mate. Is you a major ancient?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Those blokes mages are in day.
He'll look around. I know she is.
All right, makes things simple. I'm looking for the Ufanato.
I don't
As I
know
used
what
to
that
be
is.
one of them. As I used to be one of their number. The reports of my death may have been a bit exaggerated.
Gotcha. I'll be completely honest. I have no idea what that is.
You've no idea what a Ufanato is.
Right.
You taking the piss?
Nope.
It's a whole tradition.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've got brain issues. I can't remember a whole lot of things.
It's got to suck a bit, ain't it? Especially if you're
Oh, yeah.
age. Trying to remember roach and such.
No, like I remember stuff now, but there's a certain point, like amnesia. That's what it is.
It's like amnesia or is amnesia?
Is amnesia.
You do something stupid?
What was it? I couldn't hear that last one.
You do something stupid?
I can't tell you because I can't remember it.
Oh, cheers, mate. Cheers, mate.
But I mean, probably. That's usually how amnesia's gotten, right?
Not a fucking doctor. I don't know how it works.
Fair enough.
So, what's been going on? I've been away for a while. Preoccupied, as it were.
Something with a library, like censored something.
Library.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit siren. That one.
Yeah. He got trapped or something in his library by these Sins, but he's out now. So.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible all the time. It's terrible. I dislike him a great deal.
I see. Technocracy starting to hammer down, I guess.
They pick up the pieces, did they?
I don't know.
It was a bit of a to-do with a bit of some dark whatever. On a spiritual sort of thing. Did you know anything about that?
Is that the stuff dealing with the Leviathan, or?
No, I don't know about the Leviathan or whatever, or who. Is it a band or something? No, I'm talking about like demons and dark, this, that, and the third, that sort of thing. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I have no idea what that is.
It was a bird. She was possessed or something about her daddy, and you and fucking Nefandi or whatever. Did they ever get that sorted?
I have no idea, honestly. I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, it's something you would have heard about. Yeah. Are those over there your China, then?
I don't know. I just know that she is a mage.
You see, thing is, I don't know a lot of people, so if you do know someone who I could talk to about some current events, that would be helpful.
I couldn't hear that last one. I'm sorry.
It would be helpful if you knew someone, any of these people plugged in or anything.
I have the contact. I don't think I have the contact info for any of them, but I'll let them know that you're looking for them.
Yeah. Owen Kilkenny. That's the name. Don't forget it.
Black Dog, right?
Yeah. There's folks wouldn't know me about that name.
Yeah, no, I'll let them know. I see him.
Okay. All right. Hi guys. How's it going?
Hi, Evan.
We all doing good.
I told
Yeah.
him.
Sure.
As you guys settle in, you'll be given food, whatever you choose to order, as per usual, as in Agrabah Nights. Well, to coin an old phrase, your wish is their command. So, as the night progresses, an interesting figure will step through into the tented interior of Agrabah Nights. You will see this individual enter. His clothing is very obviously Asian, and he walks with a very contemplative step. He seems to take every step as if it was his first step, is how I will explain it. He will, as he enters the room, kneel on his hands and knees and press his head to the ground in a rather odd homage before he will stand up again, brushing himself off.
Anything weird about said person through Prime or Spirit?
Behind him, Solon, you will see a nearly, how to describe this? He is, the only way I can describe this to you is literally, he is the North Wind. I'm going to see looking at him with the mark of favor. He literally looks as if he is the Northern Wind. You don't know how you know that or how it verbalizes itself, but that is what you see.
Is there a visual thing to it, like, or an impression of some kind, like coldness, something?
There is a pair of glowing kanji on his forehead. It doesn't matter if you don't speak the language, it imparts what you need to know.
Huh. And this is on something behind him, or?
Oh, no, on his forehead.
Oh, okay.
Behind him, you will see the many coils of a dragon.
Hmm.
He will very delicately, seeming to be almost afraid to move, take a seat, and kind of very, very, very kind of, he'll very tentatively take a seat in the sense that he will actively kind of put the pillows down in just the correct way before he sits down. And that he will kneel very, very kind of, he'll seem to look very, very pleased that he is finally here. Maybe it was a long journey or other, but he's very happy that he is here.
Does he seem like a relatively friendly individual then?
He's smiling. And his resonance, to describe his resonance to you, he is the calm at the center of a typhoon.
That's simultaneously reassuring and terrifying.
Yes.
Well, if no one else is going to, he'll get up and approach him, though not too closely.
He has his eye. He appears to be meditating as you approach him. His eyes are closed.
Stephanos seems kind of nervous about interrupting him then. Meditation can be very important.
As you approach, his eyes will flick open. You'll see they're a very interesting color of gray.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It is a great pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
Yes. Sorry, lost my voice there for a second. I am Stephanos, and you are?
He'll look he'll extend his hand, he'll pull it back, he'll extend it again. Like he's not sure what he's meant to do.
I'll very cautiously shake the hand. How many egg do I take?
None. As a matter of fact, you feel very refreshed and revitalized.
Oh, nice.
He will say, "It is very nice to meet you, Mr. Stephanos. My name is Tripitaka."
Like he doesn't frown like upset or anything. Just thinking like, that is an interesting name. If I may ask, where are you from, and what brings you here?
Oh, yes, of course. My apologies. I was so wrapped up in the new place and so many new faces. I've come here. Well, no, my apologies. I always get these things jumbled up in my head. You'll have to forgive me. To answer your question, I'm from a little bit of everywhere, and I'm here because here needs to be the place that I am.
So you were brought here by fate, or?
I would argue that all of us are brought here by fate. But yes, essentially correct. And as for the place of my birth, well, I was born in China.
Ah. It was a long way from here, but I'm glad you have made the journey safely. If you would like anything to eat or drink, I believe the servers are around.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, Mr. Stephanos. He genuinely appears to be very, very cheerful. On a side note, if anyone feels they would wish to, you may make an intelligence academics roll.
Can I do that also, or?
Yep, it's difficulty 8, and will require 2 successes.
Intelligence academics. Okay, and creative would not apply?
No, creative wouldn't apply.
What is the diff again?
It's intelligence academics difficulty 8.
Thank you.
Actually, yes.
Don't forget what's tattooed on the back of Owen's hands.
I know. He has yet to see your hands. All right, so does everyone have their results for me?
I think Ben stepped away.
Oh, I thought that roll was just you. Okay, hold on.
Oh, no, that's everyone. Intelligence academics.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
Let's see. That would be 1 success.
Oh, it's Div 7?
Diff 8.
Div 8. Okay.
Also, you have an ungodly amount of academics.
She's got 2 PhDs.
I mean, yes. Was there a threshold on that, or was it just anyone who got successes?
Threshold 2 success.
Oh, okay. Then I think the only one who made it's Tiger.
Hey.
All right. Tripitaka is a name that Hayun and anyone else who succeeded would recognize. Well, it's recognizable for 2 reasons. One, Tripitaka were actually 3 scrolls written by Buddha in order to bring enlightenment even to the most unenlightened. But also, Tripitaka is the name of the main hero. Ironically, it is not who you think it is. It is the name of the main hero in the book, Journey to the West.
So it's not Lube.
No.
Jesus.
Hyun's just going to he's gonna get up from his table and walk over. So, hi, sorry, I may have misheard you. I apologize for eavesdropping. You say your name was Petskak? Yeah, Tiger can't pronounce that word, but he says the word.
Trepataka.
Trepataka.
Yes, that is my name. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Solo. My name's Hyun. It's nice to meet you as well.
He will once again do the very awkward extend his hand, take his hand back, extend his hand again.
Hyun will shake his hand. That's a very interesting name you have, if you don't mind me saying.
He'll contemplate. Suppose, but then again, I would argue that all names are interesting, because just like a portrait, a name is your face in many ways.
Interesting philosophy.
That was a good one, lad.
Right? Marcus just said something. I don't know what he said.
That was a good one, lad.
Okay.
Cheers, mate. That was a good one.
My Sifu always taught me that if indeed we are to be ourselves, then we should never hide behind the masks that fate would have us wear.
My seafood taught me never trust a man whose clothes are nicer than his words.
Oh, would it be more He will start to unbutton his clothes.
No, keep those on.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right.
I see.
Yeah, it's just like
Is he taking the piss? Is he serious?
Ultimately, as the Buddha taught us, clothes are but the wrapping in which we place ourselves. It is nothing compared to the words truest of the soul. A rich man will always be rich. However, an enlightened man will always be enlightened.
You always talk like that. Rodriguez, I'll try again. He says in Cantonese, do you always talk like that?
Oh, yes, he'll answer in Cantonese. Most of the time, anyway. He will say in English, but then again, all dragon wizards talk like that.
Would Dragon Wizards have any bearing on the book that I just read? Or no, that was the 9 Traditions. Doesn't mention the Disparates.
At this point, Owen was sitting. Owen is now standing.
As is Kevin.
Are they vaguely hostile in their stances?
No.
It's a good question.
I am going to roll charisma plus etiquette, though.
I have a feeling that, like, coming from where Kevin does, given the Akashiana's history with the Dragon Wizards of this world, even if he didn't mean to, probably a little bit would have trickled in there if I have to be 100% honest with you.
I mean, the Akashiana and the Wulong have been at each other's throats for centuries.
Oh yeah, no matter how polite he's trying to be, it's in there.
The Wulong
Drell is still reading her book.
The Wulong recently joined the profession.
Not in V20, not in M20. They didn't. They retconned that.
Yep.
The Wulong did not join the Akashiana.
He says Dragon Wizard.
Thank God.
Here he goes. He says in Cantonese. He goes. Charisma plus etiquette to greet the Dragon Wizard in the way he's supposed to be greeted.
Okay. It would be a polite bow that you hold for about 4 to 5 seconds, and you would welcome him as enlightened one. You would say, "I welcome you, enlightened one, Zhu Xuan Long," which is basically noble dragon teacher, which is their official title. And if you do so, he will stand in return. He will return the bow for the same period of time. And he will say, "I am always happy to meet one who walks upon the road. I'm always happy to meet one who walks upon the golden road. May you find what it is you seek." In Cantonese is his reply to you.
And in Cantonese, my character also says, "Beware of golden dragons. They walk here too."
He will nod his head, and he will.
Surreptitious to do that.
Sorry. He will respond to you. "Oftentimes there is truth wherever the dragon sets his foot, unless the dragon has lost sight of everything save for his own greed."
I like that.
What was that, sorry, Marcus?
Yes, he's not gonna like that.
The man will casually shrug. And he will say, "Oftentimes truths, especially those that we do not want to hear, are those we often seek to hear the least." He will then turn to Kevin. He will offer another respectful bow because he thinks that's what we're doing today.
Man, what a bind. I'm like running through some thoughts in my head. You know what? We are in public, so there's some bowing going on, but it's terse.
You know you're being snubbed in Asian culture when it's terse bowing. I'm being the barest minimum of polite to you. No, not rude. That would be vulgar. I'm being the barest minimum of polite.
The absolute barest minimum, like that Simpsons episode where Ned Flanders just give him the stink eye as he pours the beer, so it's like 90% foam.
I'm just saying, I was essentially taught how to do magic by, Egg Shin, the Big Trouble in Little China, and he's David Lopan, so watch out.
The man will say, Chapataka will say, "It has been some time since I have seen Kaja's script."
And I haven't run into anyone from your path since Tibet.
He will say, "Unfortunately, the will of heaven needed to be done."
Or so it was claimed.
All right, my chum. If anyone's going to talk about Tibet, it's going to be bitching. It's going to be me.
I will put out there was that wonderful moment of anime lock.
Oh yeah,
between the two.
Completely destroyed by Mr. Potter.
You two are done stroking. The injured party in that particular conflict is over here.
Who are you?
Owen Kilkenny of the Euthanatos. Thank you, sir.
Oh. Just wondering when you'd show up.
I thought the exact same about you, a bit late, don't you think?
So I'm gonna level with you, dude. I have no idea what you just said, like me, the player.
It's a bit late, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Have you seen him?
I've seen a few people.
Himself, have you gone to see him? Have you made your little trip to go see the boss?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
All things are temporary.
Some things are more permanent than others, my son. Now, this little wrinkle here, how you think he's gonna handle that there?
That's down to him.
Yeah, in it. Rules is rules. You got to roll with him, in it.
This isn't my house or my territory. I would be a fool to raise hands here.
Don't worry. I don't hold those old grudges. It would be stupid, especially in light of what's going on in the bigger picture and all that.
This is fine.
I think that goes great for both of us. Oh, yeah.
Kevin will sit back down.
It's a good man.
Side note, guys, this is completely unrelated to the game, but I don't have the vampire book on this particular computer. If you botch a roll for your humanity, do you lose the humanity and something else happens, but I can't remember what happens.
You lose a dot of conscience as well, and you gain a derangement.
Thank you.
Yep.
I love how we're all derangement.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is not good. It's not good at all. It's not. No, sir. He's looking at everybody. Always kind of looking at everybody. He goes, so there's the Dragon Wizard, there's the Akashiana, there's Euthanatos, there's unknown quiet mages. Owen kind of walks over to the Akashiana and he says, "Look, Mike, all I can tell you is this for sure. There's a balance what must be kept. At ease necessary."
Kind of a stiff glance over to Mr. Northwind over there.
Not that, he goes, not that dragon, the other one.
Ah, yes. I have heard of the one who calls himself a dragon. That is interesting. That is the Wulong equivalent of mic drop. Continue.
I bear no grudge against the Euthanatoi.
Bear no grudge against you either, son.
And at this point, Kevin will turn back around to face the bar. Just
he will. The Tripitaka will look to Stephanos and he'll say, "I thank you for your company on the first day of my arrival." Don't think Solon's there.
Yeah, he said he had to go get food
Okay,
or something.
my apologies. Continue. He will look at you. He will look at Hayun and he will say, "Where are you from?"
Yeah, and I'll just kind of shrug.
You have no recollection?
First thing that I remember was being on a lab table, and then someone waking me up, me breaking out of a laboratory, and then somehow I ended up here through wandering.
He will reach forward and he'll put a hand on Hyun's shoulder. Does Hyun like try and knock it away or anything?
No.
Once again, you will be surrounded by his very comforting, very comforting resonance, and he will say, "Three things that cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun, and the truth. So were the words of the prophet."
Noted.
He's just so comforting.
Did I miss anything of major importance?
Yeah, there was
He
almost
was
a
talking-
fight.
Yeah, there was almost a fight.
I left at the point where where this character was bowing at the Akashic in the room. Bob's character.
Yes, you almost missed a fight.
Okay, but it did
Um,
not turn into one. So yeah.
It did not know.
He will. Tripitaka will put both of his hands on the shoulders of Stephanos, if Stephanos will let him.
He kind of tenses. Crap. BRB.
Okay.
That's the age.
I would ask, you who speak the language of my homeland and who know the greetings, the old ways, what are you called?
Shit.
Interesting.
Owen Kilkenny, the black dog.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Kilkenny.
I'm
back.
sorry, out of character in my head. I hear the name and I keep hearing, "Oh my God, you killed Kenny!"
Yeah.
Sorry, I got back. What did I miss? I apologize.
You missed my brain derailing.
Oh my. You know how I love that. Hands on shoulders.
Oh yes, he says, "Thank you for being the first to speak to a stranger. As the prophet, or as the great Buddha taught us, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is a path."
You are quite welcome. Like, he doesn't know how to be more formal than that in this particular setting. Etiquette 0.
Oh yes, you're never allowed to one-on-one talk to SciShow. There are rules. I don't want to lose PCs. Though he does raise an eyebrow at the black dog, and he'll say, "Interesting. Why is it you shouted an expletive before telling me your name?"
So, Owen, so Evan, that thing's happening now? That was a direct question?
Yeah, huh?
Someone took my lies, see? I can't lie ever. Don't ask me a direct question, go tell them the whole thing. Full gainer down the frog.
That is a terrible curse. On the side note, Evan is just laughing on the inside. Oh, I feel better.
I'll take your token now.
What was that, sorry, Marcus?
Yes, I'll take your token now.
What was that in reference to?
Well, you're a dragon wizard, isn't it?
Yes.
We may need to speak again, so I'll need something of yours.
He will nod. And he will walk over to you. He will reach into the fold of the robe and he will withdraw. It's kind of interesting. He withdraws a small coin, roughly about the size of your thumb, that appears to be made from solid gold, and he will put it into your hand. But he will also put a business card into your hand, and he'll say, "We tend to like to use both methods nowadays. The age of information technology, as well as the old ways. You understand."
I've heard tell that things are easier with technology. Yeah.
What was that, sorry?
Yes, I've heard tell that things are easier in that direction.
So I'm led to understand.
Might I give you a bit of a warning then?
By all means.
You mind your P's and Q's when you're talking to himself, hear me?
He will say, "It would not," and he will switch to Cantonese to say this to you, Marcus. He will say, "If you are referring to whom I think you are, it would not be in his benefit to hurt me."
And in Cantonese, he goes, "That won't stop him."
No. But then there would be a war and blood, and nobody in the end desires war and blood.
My job to make sure that certain folks don't catch the fall out of it, other folks' decision-making skills. So I deal with it all the time. All right? No disrespect.
You have not caused me disrespect. You have been nothing but yourself. And as the Buddha taught us, if one cannot even see oneself in the mirror, then one is clearly blind.
He bows. Look, I mean, let him know that he's not going to say anymore because that would be bad.
All right. Something else I needed to do, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, yes. No. I now remember what it was. Don't worry about it. There is a brilliant smoky plume that forms in the center of the floor. It is literally like a plume of solidified darkness comes into existence, swirling and swirling and swirling and spiraling. until seated in the center of the plume, which is now on the center of a table, you gentlemen and ladies will see a raven. I completely forgot I had to do this. The raven appears to have a small scroll clutched in its talon.
Does anybody know whose bird this is?
I don't expect a message.
I want to whistle for the birds. Is a flower to it?
Is Owen
L looks at the raven. What?
as Owen whistles for it, the raven will fly to him. And you will see written on the note in the wax seal scratched into it, Owen Kilkenny, written in the wax.
That's the to portion, correct?
I beg your pardon?
That means it's to me?
Yes, it's to you.
Don't read it because he's an idiot.
I beg your pardon?
He'll read it because he's an idiot.
It simply says, "My blood born on swiftest wing is sent. Remember the covenants old and sealed. You shall remember your place, and most importantly, remember the mistress and whom you serve."
Chica Bow Wow?
I mean,
He does scream fuck really loud. Fuck!
Dr. L just raises an eyebrow.
That was my left eardrum.
Really? Of all times? I'm a freaking Kilkenny, not a Kinrowan. Really?
The raven appears to look at you, and you can almost hear it think. As a matter of fact, you can hear it think, well, I'm just the messenger.
Its other thoughts being shiny, shiny, shiny.
He's a Kilkenny that he is. He goes, hey, I pay a gold coin and stick around for a while.
The bird looks down at the coin, shrugs.
Why not?
The bird will turn and will bow to the collective audience, and it will say in perfectly audible English, "Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, bird. How are you?
I'm relatively fine, and how are you?
Could be better, could be worse.
But you're chugging along, which is the main thing."
Yeah. Oh, this bird. This bird's a good bird.
I assume that's not an emissary of Apollo.
No, I am, however, an emissary of a very different deity.
Ah,
One who I thought I would have to be serving, but apparently I do.
Well, she's kind of made the decision, considering her, flesh and blood is turning up.
What? Where's that happening?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm just the messenger. On a side note, does anyone have any raw ham?
Keanu will order some raw ham for the bird.
Raw ham will indeed appear.
you hear a muffled squeal half a second beforehand. No, just kidding.
So what's the deal then, Mr. Messenger? You stick around for how long?
I'm not required back for a while. You seem relatively entertaining.
I'll stick with me, kid. We'll learn all kinds of things together.
This seems like an excellent idea. Oh, ham! You will fly down and start eating ham. Tiger, you get a bird bro fist.
Oh, hell yeah. I'll return the bro fist.
So, you think this is the first time you'd ever met a talking anthropomorphic personification of a deified, beatified raven?
Well, for me,
But then
I mean,
again,
it is, but I see a lot of weird shit.
well, then again, you're different, Mr. Beard. You're kind of proto what they are.
Okay. He just kind of looks nervously at everyone else there, like, it's obviously crazy. Don't listen to it.
That mean.
Well, you see, when a mommy god and a daddy god love each other very much.
That's enough, please. No. I just figured out where I'm pulling this voice from, and it sickens me.
Where's
Oh,
it from?
dude.
I would like
to.
God damn it, Janusz.
No, there'll be no
I would like to point
photographs.
out. I would like to point out that apparently the Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh God.
So, congratulations. It would appear as though, Mr. Kilkenny, you are now the grand high spiritual guardian of a piece of your beatified deity. Have fun with that. On the side note, Ham.
Quite the responsibility.
Tell you what, guys, since I'm actually actively running out of steam because I've had to run scenes all evening, I think I'm just going to call it there if that's cool with people. I've done all I need to do.
Okay.
That's just fun.
So, thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin where, Ham.